How's it going, everyone? My name is Michael SK, and welcome back to Fate Stay Night Remastered. We are in the middle of a very important fight, so I'm not going to do a long intro or anything. Just be aware that we are going against the previous archer, and we now know his true identity. He is Gilgamesh, and his noble phantasm is ridiculous. Really, what his whole backstory is it's really bonkers. Gilgamesh must not be able to tolerate even the slightest bit of resistance from me. He glares hatefully at me as he backs up just the slightest bit. I'm saved. If he'd kept attacking, I wouldn't have lasted another second. I try to catch my breath, and then...
薄汚い偽物め。それほどそれが気に入ったのならば。
He draws a sword. It looks familiar. The decorations are different, though. The thought that went into making that sword, as well as its soul, are too similar to this sword.
まさかこの剣の原型。そうだ。だが宝具としての精度は比べるまでもないぞ。お前が持つ 王を選定する岩に刺さった剣は北欧に伝わる支配を与える木に刺さった剣が流れたものだがこれはその原型王を選定するという聖剣の大元だ
Is he saying that he's holding the original model for the sword in the Tree of Supremacy? The Norse hero Sigmund's demonic sword, Gram?
子は親には勝てん 天輪を続けるごとに劣化する複製は原型にはかなわぬということだ
Light flares from the blade. The sword understands perfectly that this is the same attack which killed Berserker in a single strike. It must be protecting its owner. The sword in my hand moves toward the enemy's sword more fiercely, more powerfully than ever before. The noble phantasm is called Caliburn, the golden sword of assured victory, but it shatters instantly in the face of Merodach, the original sin. I hear something sliding along the ground. It's a faint rustling sound. Is the park's ground slippery? I roll across the ground like a bit of trash in the wind before finally coming to a stop.
Shirou!
Oh, we have new weapon data? Well, we also have new servant data that I absolutely forgot to look at in the previous episode. I want to say it's something to do here, but I'm not really sure what. It's here. It's definitely here. So we've read Treasury of the King. Now we also have Star of Creation that divided heaven and earth, which he used to actually counteract Saber's noble phantasm. Ea, the Sword of Rupture, the blade that can sever space itself. A rift created by compressed and clashing winds becomes an artificial fault line that divides space-time, annihilating everything that stands against it. There is no way to defend its destructive power, unless the target has an anti-purge AC, or an attack powerful enough to cancel it out. The damage value is strength times 20, but the magic value can be randomly added to strength. Its maximum damage is 4,000. We're bringing in the numerical values here. However, its damage increases exponentially when noble phantasms from the treasury are used as backup. It is a sword with the power to sever the world, which makes it equal to or even more powerful than Saber's Excalibur. So there we have that. And then the new weapon, the Golden Sword of Assured Victory. We know about that one, but it's this one. This is the OG, the magical sword of the sun Gram. In the Volsunga saga, Gram was a magical sword of glory and destruction that belonged to Sigurd, the greatest Norse hero. It is also the prototype of Caliburn from the Legend of King Arthur. Just as Caliburn was the sword of appointment stuck in a stone, Gram was a sword of appointment stuck in King Volsung's tree. The legend of the magical sword Gram and its owner Sigurd is marked by glory and destruction worthy of the hero's name. Later compiled in medieval Germany, During des Nibelungen is a knightly tale equally significant to the legends of King Arthur. In this version, Graham appears under a different name, Balmung. It is the strongest magical sword, comparable to the strongest sacred sword, and it even has dragon-slaying properties. One could even consider this the natural counter to the famed King of Knights. Well, there we have it. Anyway, Shirou's dying. Her voice tells me I'm still alive.
なんだ、セイバー。
I'm relieved to see that. I thought I'd been blown away, but it doesn't matter since Saber's here. And then as long as I can stand up, I can run to her. Yeah, supposedly. I glance at my arm. It's red. My arm is covered in some sort of sticky red membrane, but there's no blood coming from it.
動くな。もういい。いいから動かないでくれ。シロ。
Saber's shouts reach me as I lay there staring at my arm. It looks like my torso is what's hurt. That single attack. I'm pretty sure Gilgamesh's sword is what sent me flying. That at least explains why I'm injured. No wonder Saber is so upset. The only thing I can move is my right hand. My left hand does not move. I'm not even sure what happened to my left hand. Is it there? Did we lose it? I can't even breathe. A diagonal slash covers my torso, starting at my left shoulder. The slash runs all the way through my body, separating parts of me like mismatched building blocks. I look like a ginkgo leaf. I've been cut open from shoulder to hip. It's actually creepy that I'm still alive right now. I don't think this miraculous survival is going to last long. I'm conscious right now, but my vision is already starting to narrow. Besides, even a tiny movement will send all my organs tumbling out of my torso. Maybe I really am dead, and my consciousness or my ghost or something is just hanging around watching what's unfolding.
なんだ、見事に散らばったと思ったが存外にしぶといのだな。なるほど。生き汚さだけが雑種の取り柄というわけか。
He laughs. I'm grateful for it, honestly. The more horribly grating that laughter is, the harder my consciousness fights to cling to my physical body.
だがそこまでだ。貴様に獅子は似合わん。その女は俺がもらう。
More footsteps. This time he's going to take Saber for sure. Ah, fuck. God damn it. Well, are we not supposed to get up? I mean... Okay, this is actually very tough. This is a tough one. So, there is the, what would Shirou do? But here's the problem. Can he even, like, get up? Will he just die if he does? I mean, it just said that if he moves, you know, oh, there's the liver and the intestines and possibly my stomach and probably the heart. Just there on the asphalt. It's just there now. But if we don't get up, we live. And Saber will live too. I want to say not getting up is the way to go because we live to fight another day. It's not like we, you know, lose and we can never fight again. But if we get up, we could just, you know, lose by default. I think we got to stay down, guys. Like, I think that's the way to go. It's not the Shirou thing to do necessarily, but I think that that's the way to go because if he continues on, he'll just die. So I'm going to say, no, we can't move. The laughter draws near. As soon as I try pushing myself up, lightning courses through my spine. The pain screams through every fiber of my being that I cannot fight anymore. I can't get up. Even if I could, I'm too much of a mess. I can't beat him. And in that moment of realization, my body, so hell-bent on survival, finally gives up. The power that had been protecting me all this time fades. My thoughts slow. My mind winds down to nothing, as does my life. What if that's actually... It is! No fucking way! I knew it! I fucking knew it! I knew it! So if he just gives up, then he dies. Okay, that's good to know. God damn it. Yeah, let's see the stupid-ass Tiger Dojo. Yeah, that was pretty good combo there. Okay, to be fair with you guys, and you can laugh at me if you want with any of my, decisions that lead me to a bad ending, but like, he just fucking said if I get up, all of my organs are gonna probably come out. We would live to fight another day. I feel like I'm just getting, like, I'm overthinking these things, And it happened with the previous bad end too, where, Saber and Shirou were fighting the fucking zombies or whatever. And I thought the choice was like, all right, Saber, you go on ahead. I'm gonna hold down the fort in this position. No, his ass just went back. So it's as if I just made the wrong choice in the first go around because there were two choices. It's like, what the fuck? So I just overthink things. This fucking game sometimes, man. That's all I'm saying. All right, yes, we'll stand up. I pour all the strength I have left into my one good arm. You know what? I guess that is the Shirou thing to do, is to actually just keep on fighting. It is what he would do. So I guess I just really have to think like him. I try to grip the ground with my sticky, slippery arm and lever myself upright. Even as I'm on the verge of literally splitting apart. What up, Saber? For a brief second, I see Saber's face. She's on the brink of tears. In that moment, I'm proud to know falling in love with her wasn't a mistake. I force myself up. Neither of my legs work. The magical energy that barely kept my body moving is gone. All that remains is my faint heartbeat and the throbbing of my organs trying desperately to continue functioning.
ほう、未練か。だろうな。あれはお前には過ぎた宝だ。その気持ちはわからんでもない。ならばこそ他の男の手に奪われるのは悔しかろう。
Too far. He goes too far. I can't listen to another second of his shit.
だから、奪うとか、奪われるとか、セイバーを物みたいに。
I pour what energy I can into my right arm. It feels like it's made of lead. My body creaks in protest, but begins to obey. I push myself up to one knee. I take a deep breath, trying to focus what strength I have left. Every time I move, I feel my organs shifting around as if with minds of their own. Saber sounds like she's denouncing me. She's far away. In the distance, I can see her staring at me, sad and forlorn. I push everything from my mind to focus on making my body move. Saber's voice is just a distraction. Gilgamesh's laughter, the pathetic state my body is in, none of that is my biggest obstacle right now. Right now, it's Saber. Hearing her say that, seeing her looking like that, it's almost enough to make me give up. Finally, I feel life flood into my knees. Now all I have to do is get to my feet.
いらない。あなたの助けなどいりません。敗北した以上、私はすでにあなたの剣ではないんです。このまま消えるのがサーバントとして当然の結末ではないですか。
Not on our watch. I hope we're wearing one. But it's Saber's voice. Damn. If you keep saying that, if you keep making this even harder, I will get mad, even at you.
やだ、やめてください、シロ。それ以上はダメだ。本当に死んでしまう。こんなことであなたに死なれたら私は。
I can't keep listening to this. She has no idea how I feel.
うるさい。いいから少しは黙ってろ。こういう時くらい頼っていいんだよ。
それは違う、シロ。優先順位を間違えないでほしい。私の身などどうでもいい。そんなものよりあなたは自身の命を第一にするべきだ。
She's pleading with me. Knowing that I'm responsible for the agonized sound of her voice makes me want to give up right now. But
断れ。俺にはセイバー以上に欲しいものなんてない。
I can't allow myself to give in to her plea. Saber gapes at me. I'm not sure why. But I remember something. She once told me that I was a fool who didn't know the value of my own life. I think she's right. Yeah. For someone who can't help themselves to try to help someone else is a little presumptuous. And they're really only doing it for their own happiness, while the person they're meant to be helping may not be half so pleased. Okay, someone's first priority should be themselves. The people who think like that are the ones who can be truly happy. And so they can then share that happiness with other people as well.
俺は確かに自分の命を感情に入れてない。
I've been wrong about the most important thing in my life. From that day, the place in my heart where whatever is most important to me should have been what was empty. But I'm grateful for that abnormality, because now that empty space is filled with the person I truly want to save.
けどな、セイバー。もし俺が自分の命が一番大事だったとしても、きっとそれ以上にセイバーは綺麗なんだ。お前に代わるものなんて俺の中には一つもない。
Man, you've got such a way with words when you're on fucking death's door. And then I realize it wasn't that I was sympathetic towards her. The girl in my dreams, that girl who fought and died alone, who I felt was never rewarded for all she did, I was in awe of her. I thought she was beautiful beyond words. The vivid image of her taking her sword and charging into battle, never looking back, was awe-inspiring.
そうだ。だから。
That's why I need to protect you, Saber. You were alone your entire life, so I have to make sure you're not swallowed up by the darkness in your last moments. Yeah, once this is all over, on the verge of your death, I hope you can go into your eternal slumber, proud of what you did with your life. No more hesitation. My objective is clear.
ごめんな。俺セイバーが一番好きだ。だからあんな奴にお前は渡さない。
I regret the apology as soon as I give it, but I wanted to tell her. I wanted to tell her that now of all times, because the words could come straight from my heart. I sense her gasping. I want to turn around to see her face, but no, I can't really see anymore anyway. I stand up. As long as my heart is still beating, I can keep fighting. Magical energy is life. As long as it flows through me, I can create as many swords for her as she needs.
よく立った。で、その後は何があるのだ?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we still are human. Shirou, though, is a strange case, obviously. There's a lot more to him, but I do think he also has his limitations. I feel a scorching heat in my right hand. Here on the brink of death, I'm reminded of what happened 10 years ago. It's a terrible illusion. I feel just like I did when I was in the fire, reaching a hand out and hoping to be saved.
うせろ。お前にセイバーは任せられない。
I say that as I raise my right hand.
たわけ。誰が貴様の許しを得るか。
Gilgamesh raises his sword.
シロ、シロ。
I hear Saber far behind me. I ignore her and use my remaining magical energy to project a sword once more. The light stops me. A vortex of light rushes at me. It's not as strong as Excalibur, but it still burns away anything it touches. When the heat scorches my body, I don't think about my death. I think about Saber somewhere behind me. This will kill her as well as me. I at least need to protect her then. I said it's what I'd do. It's what I've always wanted to do. She's strong, but at the same time could break at any moment. She needs me. She's like a drawn sword. So to make sure she doesn't get hurt, I'll sheath her. Whoa, what do we got going on there? And then, before I realize what's going on, there's a sword in my right hand.
No.
I'm not sure who said that, but there is a brief hesitation. At the same moment, the invincible knight in gold takes a step backward.
シロ、それを。
Saber takes my hand. So what do we got going on here? The vortex of light fades. Saber is right beside me. Before me is Gilgamesh. Eyes open and bleeding? What the fuck? What the hell happened? I don't know what happened. Okay, well. But I realize it's just like the Berserker battle. Saber is using whatever I made, and it destroyed Gilgamesh's Gram. Two titanic beams of light collide before one overwhelms the other, and we manage to truly wound the man who until now had been completely unscathed. He radiates murderous intent. It is terrifying, in spite of that ferocious, murderous rage. The Golden Knight leaves without a word. But there's no time to be surprised. I have no idea why he just left. But even as I feel myself slipping into unconsciousness, I know the battle's over. Well, that was a little anticlimactic there at the end. My knees buckle. The tension that kept me upright fades, and I collapse. What sword did we bring out? Saber hurries forward and catches me. While I slip down onto my rear, supported by Saber, I look over my body. Oh yeah, what's the damage? What do we got going on here? I can't help but cry out. My body is torn to pieces. I should have been killed the instant Gilgamesh laid me open from shoulder to hip. My brother in Christ, stop talking. My healing power must be what's got me clinging to life. But even that has its limits. I'm practically split in two. I can't possibly recover from this. I'm not even sure if I'm breathing, and everything is starting to go dark. My end is near. The only good thing to come from this is that Saber is okay. My wounds are fatal, but it looks like Saber was just exhausted. She's disarmed, and her wounds are already healed. Even if I end up having to drop out of the war, I'm sure Tosaka can take care of the rest. I hear that sound again. What the fuck is this shit? That sound of creaking bones is coming from me. Curious, I look down at my wounds. Yeah, what is going on here? I see myriad swords. Or I see what looks like tons of tiny blades converging, layering atop each other, trying to knit together my broken body. I feel faint. It looks like every muscle and bone in my body is made from swords. It's a little ironic, isn't it? The next moment, they're gone. My body looks normal, and what I thought I saw a moment ago seems to have only been an illusion. As proof of that, my ruined flesh begins fusing together. My wounds close right before my eyes. It's more like restoration rather than healing. Looking at it, I feel a surge of disgust rather than fascination. It looks like I'm going to make it, but this is just too...
よかった。この分なら死ぬことはなさそうですね。
I hear Saber's voice at my ear. She's, really close.
いや、それは助かるけど。俺の体、一体。
I want to ask what's going on with my body, but I'm suddenly overcome with dizziness. And then, my body is enveloped in a soft embrace. Aww. But goddamn, look at all that blood.
いいえ、私には分かりました。傷が癒されるのは当然です。
Yeah, feel free to, fill me in here. I can't stay awake. I produce too much magical energy. My worn-out mind just wants to sleep now. I don't know how strong it is, but Saber moves closer and wraps her arms around me. She embraces me tightly.
やっと気づいた。
Oh.
私の鞘だったのですね。
Oh, shit. I remember. Gotta have the sword and the sheath. Her words penetrate deep into my tired mind. That sensation is so comforting, and the last of my remaining consciousness fades away. I finally realize I'm safe, and so I yield my body to sleep. Before sleep takes me, I find myself thinking, with a little foolish sadness, that this scene would be better if our positions were reversed. Yeah, maybe a little bit. I'll give you that one, Shirou. But hey, you were the hero. I think. For the final time, I see that red hill once again. The red memory. I dive deeper into her memory, and I realize I'm seeing it for the last time. It's a memory of a certain knight that I have seen many times already. After becoming king and killing her will so that she could devote herself to the will of her nation. Her days were now marked by the resentment of her trusted knights. Every time she won a battle, Altria was made to fight more battles she didn't want. She continued to hide her sex, which heaped more suspicion onto her. All that awaited the isolated girl was rebellion at the hands of her own family. A young knight took over the nation while the king was away on an expedition. The knight's name was Mordred. The knight, son of Altria's older sister, Morgan, was in fact the king of Knight's own son. Altria was never able to have a child as a woman, but Mordred had her blood coursing through his veins. I'm not clear what happened to make this possible, but Altria's older sister, Morgan, loathed her for becoming king. Mordred was created as a clone, and served the king without knowing who his father was. Mordred sought an opportunity to take the throne for himself, ultimately going so far as to organize a revolt. This is how I get my knowledge on, the story behind King Arthur, by the way, guys. I've said it a couple times already, but I've known nothing about King Arthur and the knights and all of that, so this is my true experience with it all. That revolt would end in what later became known as the Battle of Camlon, the final battle and the end of King Arthur. King Arthur learned of Mordred's betrayal during her expedition and returned with her wary army to invade her own lands. She defeated many of the knights who used to serve her. She attacked the land she once defended. Those few knights who remained loyal to her died. The only two left standing in the end were the king and her son Mordred. The combat between the two of them ended in the king's victory. But the king was not unharmed. Mordred was bound by a powerful curse and swung his sword even after dying, inflicting a fatal wound on the king, so everyone died. And so that battle ended. It was the end of her, the king once known as the King of Knights. It must have been heart-wrenching. None of the battles she fought were painless. Every one of the 12 battles she fought was intense, but this final one was her greatest loss. She returned to her homeland, only to have to destroy her own army. She was forced to punish the knights who once served her, and had to watch those knights who remained loyal to her die. And in the end, she had to kill her own son. I have no idea what was going through her head in that moment, but I had to pray. I had to pray for the lone knight who tried to remain king until the very end. I pray that this dream of her just before her death is the kind of dream a girl named Altria would want to see. I think we must be getting pretty dang close to the end of the initial route of this game here. I opened my eyes. I don't know when I got back, but I'm in my room, lying on my futon.
ああ、気がついたのですね、シロ。
セイバー、俺は。
あれから今まで眠っていたのです。体の方はほぼ完治していますから、心配には及びません。
そうか。それはいいけど。
But what about Saber? She used Excalibur. She must be running low on magical energy, since she probably healed herself too.
セイバー、ずっと俺の手当てを。
手当てと言っても、汗を拭く程度です。私はリンのように、人の傷を見ることはできませんから。
バカ、そんなことしなくていいんだ。今は俺より、セイバーの方が辛いだろう。
そのようなことはありません。シロに比べれば、私は軽症です。
I don't know, you looked pretty pathetic on the ground back there.
しかし、
I'm
今
just
のは
saying.
聞き捨てなりませんね。
I guess it was just
いくら
exhaustion.
傷が塞がったと言っても、シロは死んでもおかしくない傷だったのです。
Saber reaches for a basin of water that sits beside her. She draws a towel out of it and wrings it before wiping me off with the cool water. Honestly, what she does mostly just embarrasses me.
シロ、傷が痛むのですか？また熱が出てきたようですが。
熱なんか出てない。いや、そうじゃなくて。いいからセイバーも休んでくれ。今は元気かもしれないけど、エクスカリバーを使ったんだ。セイバーの方こそ休んでなくちゃダメじゃないか。
まあ、それはそうなのですが。今は私の方が元気ですから。マスターの傷が癒えるまで、私が守るのは当然でしょう。
それはもっともな話だよな。
She's got me there. When she says it like that, I can't really do anything but agree.
分かったよ。俺もしっかりと休むから、セイバーもちゃんと休んでくれ。セイバーが休んでくれないと、俺も落ち着いて眠れない。
それはそうですね。私とて睡眠を取らねばならぬ身ですから。
Saber nods in agreement and then wrings the towel and hangs it over the edge of the basin. I do my best to swallow my embarrassment as I watch Saber tend to me.
それでは、私も先に休ませていただきます。御身、くれぐれもお大事に、シロ。
ああ。
おやすみなさい。言いそびれましたが、礼を言います、シロ。
Well, yeah, I guess you're welcome.
あなたが助かって、本当によかった。
Good thing our organs didn't spill out, huh? There, under the moonlight, I see Saber smile. Her smile seems fragile, maybe because of the pale moonlight. Before I get a good look, the door closes. When Saber disappears into her room, I'm stricken by a sudden sense of relief. Or maybe loneliness. I regret not telling her to stay here and just take my futon while I use my arm as a pillow, but that would be too much for her. Besides, if we did that, it'd remind me of that night. Oh, by the way, guys, like, I want you all to know that I'm fully aware and have been aware pretty much since that episode that they fucked. Like, I sort of assumed. I didn't really bring it up because I knew this game had H scenes, and that was actually the first one I saw. I actually did see that at some point whenever I first started playing Fate. I was like, all right, when's the first one? And I saw that it was in, what, chapter 11. But I didn't have any context, and what I saw was actually between Saber and Rin. But I had no idea what the fuck was going on. And really, for a while, I was wondering, are these scenes like fan service and that's it? Like, do they actually contribute to the story at all? Or do they just happen and then we go to the next scene and it's like it didn't happen? But there's so many, hints that have been thrown around after that, like the awkwardness and everything. It's like, no, okay, something happened. And it has been confirmed. I think somebody confirmed it in the comments a few videos ago. And so I knew when it happened, I was able to line it up, but I wasn't so sure that it actually had a plot impact. So there you have it. Yes, they had sex, I think, kinda. If you want to call it that, whatever it was. We saw a dragon. I shake off the image that works its way into my mind. Too many things have happened today. It feels like an entire week has gone by just today. My date with Saber was more challenging than fun. And then we got in an argument and I left, abandoning Saber. And then... yeah, good times. No, I shouldn't think of that until I've completely recovered. Not only do we have to deal with Gilgamesh, but we also need to defeat Lancer and whoever his master is. We need to rest, recover, and regroup so we can be at our best, or else we don't have a chance of winning at all. And this only happened a few hours ago. I think Saber said something about me being her sheath. At the time, I couldn't ask what she meant. I was a wreck and near to passing out. I can't fall asleep. In Saber's dream, her face, resolute even on the brink of death, overlaps with the sight of Saber tending to me. Then I hear her voice saying goodnight. The image of her frail profile, of her smile, is burned into my mind. Ah, to fall in love. It's not a smile I saw in any of my dreams of her life. She says it makes her happier when she sees me smile. That just drives me nuts. I'm not sad, just exasperated. I don't know why it annoys me so much that I actually find myself getting angry. I punch my futon. The desire to lash out in the face of this frustration just completely overwhelms me.
Shirou, 体の具合が悪いのですか?
No, we're good. Go back to bed. A concerned voice drifts in from the other side of the closed door. My breathing is heavy, so she must think I'm having trouble sleeping.
いや、大丈夫。それよりも、まだセイバーは起きてるのか？
はい。ですが、本当にシローの方はよろしいのですか？まだ苦しいのでしたら、そちらに行きますが。
Maybe I should go over... No, that's even worse. All the pent-up feelings I've been barely holding back will come rushing to the forefront if I see Saber now.
セイバー、少しだけ話いいか？
はい。このままでよろしければ。
We start talking through the sliding door. Since I can't actually see her, I think back on that smile, the last expression I saw on her face. She looked so happy. And when I think of it, I find myself getting more frustrated rather than less. I don't know why I'm getting so warm. But I still need to talk to Saber. I have to tell her that even if I don't have the right answer, she's still wrong. My voice trembles. My tongue feels heavy in my mouth. Once I say it, I won't be able to take it back. I'm fully aware of that.
もういい。いいから。お前は自分のために笑わないと。
Some unknown force forces the words from me.
シロー、そんな、どうして？
There shouldn't even be a reason, or a question, excuse me. I'll just keep repeating myself until you realize it.
セイバー、もう十分なんじゃないのか？お前は頑張ったんだろう。一人で戦い抜いたんだろう。なら、セイバーが幸せにならないなんて嘘だ。お前は立派に誓いを果たした。なら、このままアルトリアに戻ってもいいはずだ。
何を言うかと思えば、まだそんなことを言うのですか、あなたは。
ああ、ずっと言い続ける。そんなの惚れちまったんだから仕方ないだろう。だからセイバーは、いや、お前はアルトリアに。
I suppress the sudden urge of emotion. I'm on the verge of breaking down. If only Saber would just say something, even a single word.
シロー、私を困らせないでほしい。 そのようなことを言われても。
Her answer is unchanged. My heart aches from her determination.
シローは私の過去を知って私の中に何度も入ってきた。私の答えなどあなたは知っているはずなのに、どうしてそこまで私に構うのです。
This track right here that's playing, by the way, is nice. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
私がどれほどの罪を重ねてきたのか。
Yeah, I have. Many people were sacrificed in the name of the king. Many enemies killed. I have no intention of pretending that didn't happen. Still, knowing this, I want Altria to be happy.
それがどうした？この感情が何かは知らない。俺はただセイバーをこのままにしておけないだけだ。セイバーは笑ってくれ。俺はもっとずっとセイバーと一緒にいたい。
It's such a childish confession of love. I wait for her answer as the silence stretches out between us. What Saber might be doing, or how she might be reacting behind that closed door, I have no idea. Are my words even getting through to her?
私の答えは変わりません。王の誓いは破れない。ふさわしくなかったとはいえ、私は王として国を任せられた。その責務を果たせなかったというのに、そんな自由は許されない。
Her voice is so sad I can't stand it any longer. I don't want to hear the solitary oath Altria took when she became king. I already know it. All this frustration wasn't just so I could hear her lamentations. I kick at the futon covers. The only thing between me and Saber is the sliding door leading to her room.
シロ、
The door slides softly as I open it. Oh shit, we giving her a big ol' hug? My mind goes blank. What was I so angry about? Why was I so sad? Before me, I see trembling eyes on the verge of tears. I see a slender neck and shoulders so thin, they seem in danger of snapping in a breeze. And I see her golden hair splashed with moonlight, just like when we had first met. Without even thinking, I'm embracing her. I hold her so tight I might break her. It's different from that night. I didn't feel like this back then. This may sound ridiculous. Even though I was aspiring to be a champion of justice, I never fell in love. There was never someone I couldn't let go of.
Saber.
It's like she might disappear if I don't hold her tightly enough. I'm not sure how long I hold her, but I relax my embrace after reminding myself that no, she won't disappear.
シロ、突然に何を。これは一体どういうことですか。こんなことをされても私。
She moves slightly in my arms. Her lips tremble. She's about to say something I don't want to hear. So I place my lips over hers to silence her. That's how you make somebody shut up. You give him a big old kiss, guys. If you're arguing with your homie, you better kiss him, all right? You just better do it, because you're not real friends if you don't kiss the homies goodnight either. So if you don't kiss them to shut them up during the argument, you know what to do, guys. You know what to do. You gotta stand up. She trembles in my arms. I'm looking at Saber, but I'm not seeing anything. But my sense of touch has grown so much more sensitive now. I can feel the softness of Saber's lips. Our lips part. Saber places a hand on my chest and pushes me away gently.
シロ、今の口づけは。
She wants to say it was a mistake. Saber looks at me on the verge of tears.
間違いなんかじゃない。何度だって言うぞ。セイバーが好きで、このまま話すことなんてできない。それが嫌なら言ってくれ。俺とはマスターとサーバントの関係に過ぎないと断言して否定してくれていい。
卑怯な。そのようなことを口にしろというのですか。
ああ、セイバーがはっきり言わない限りもう我慢しないからな。セイバーが拒まないんなら俺はやりたいようにやるだけだ。
My brother in Christ, that is not how consent works. Even if I could only make her forget her vow to be king for a moment. Neither of us says anything for what feels like a long time. I keep holding Saber, feeling her soft, slender body. She's still tense, unsure of herself. All I can hear is our breathing and our hearts beating. It's crazy how things came to this point, honestly. How many times did our hearts beat against each other? She pushes a little harder on my chest.
あなたの気持ちには応えられない。あなたがその正しさを変えられないように、私にも変えられないものがある。できるのは、せめて許されるとしたら。
The pause makes my heart ache. She bites her lip, trembling as if confessing that what we did that night was not permitted. And yet, her body offers no resistance, and the hesitation in her eyes tells me something. Just one night, she's telling me of a hope she feels cannot be fulfilled. She says she wants to stay like this until the night ends.
Saber, 俺は
I lift my hand, trying to embrace her. Saber takes hold of it.
宝具を使いましたから。シロから力をもらわないと。
Oh my god.
私は戦いません。
Well, I mean, we have to do it. We have to refill the tank, you know? Her hushed voice asking for permission falls silent. I have no words. That line of reasoning is so transparent, but it's the best she could do to ask for her wish to come true.
ああ、そうだったな。けど、ちゃんと動いてるのか。
はい。今でもシロからの供給は続いています。ですから、回復するためには。
Our bodies have to be close. That's all we can do. This is as close as we can be because she is still bound by her oath. I cannot break that oath. Saber moves in my arms. I don't know what to do with the heat of her pressed against me. Holding Saber's slender body in my arms makes my heart beat faster, and I'm ashamed of myself for getting agitated. Saber's cheeks practically glow red. She looks so embarrassed.
ですのでシロ、お願いです。今晩は共にあなたと眠らせてください。
God
ケ
damn
ンと
it.
サヤは共にあれば、
I can't
その
believe that
力
shit
を
actually
手に出しやす
works.
い。それに、あの儀式と同じように、より心身を近づければ。
But wait, shouldn't it be the other way around? Because the sword definitely goes into the sheath. But if Shirou's the sheath, whatever. Let's not look too deep into it, guys. I nod silently. I'm much happier than I am embarrassed. I get to spend the night with Saber in my arms. Our bodies may not touch more than they are now, but we can be more intimate in our hearts.
よかった。では、シロ、今夜は私が支度をしますので、先に部屋に戻っていただけませんか？
Okay. Saber stands up. I can't bear to let her go. But we can't stay like this forever, so I head back through the sliding door to my room. I turn back to look at Saber before I slide the door shut. It feels like I'm doing something wrong though, so I close the door quickly. I don't know why, but I find myself sitting on top of my futon. My mind won't slow down. It's practically doing somersaults just at the thought of sleeping with Saber. This is for her, to help her, to grant one small wish of hers. If I keep on granting these small wishes for her, it'll add up, and maybe Saber will learn to smile. But the war is nearing its end. I don't know how much time we have left to keep doing this.
失礼します。シロ。
The sliding door opens. I shake away the depressing thoughts circling my head and look to Saber. I turn and look up at her. Oh shit. She's wearing the gown. I quietly gulp. She is a figure of pure white in the darkness. Seeing her, all that restless worry I felt melts away. She's just too beautiful. My heart is unclouded now.
おかしいでしょうか？この格好は。
いや、そんなことない。ただ眩しくて困ったんだ、きっと。
I mutter something unintelligible about how difficult it makes things when a girl is too pretty. Even if I explained it to Saber, she wouldn't understand, but my mind's practically shorted out.
そちらに行ってもよろしいですか、シロ。
ああ、うん。
For the first time, I realized she has beautiful, perfect toes. Yeah, that is definitely a very important thing to look at. While Saber walks across the tatami mat floor to get close, I get off the futon and pull the blanket back for her. I realize I'm one pillow short for the two of us to sleep together, but it's too late. Saber and I sit side by side next to the futon. One room, one futon, but Saber's with me. I shouldn't be having any impure thoughts, but my face feels like it's on fire. I can't even look at Saber.
お先にどうぞ、シロ。
いや、セイバーこそ先に。
Well, we're not gonna get... yeah, we're really not gonna get anywhere like this. That is true. So I hurry into the futon and make room for Saber. I thought I would give her the pillow, but she gently pushes it back to me.
これはシロに。私はその腕を枕にさせてください。
Well, our arm is going to be falling asleep tonight. Her words, barely a whisper, make my heart skip a beat. Saber is surprisingly calm as she nestles into my arms. It's like she's settled in herself more than I am holding her. A blade in its sheath. I remember Saber's words. Saber is about to drift off, pillowed on my arm like a sword in its sheath. Yep, exactly like that. Her warm, soft scent so close and calms... Wait, so close? Soft scent so close, it calms. What the fuck? Rather than excites me. Okay, whatever. I know there's been some mistakes in the fucking script here, but like, I'm also really bad at reading, so sometimes I just don't know. But Saber's hand reaches for my hand. I take it inside the blanket and entwine my fingers with hers. And we drift off to sleep in silence. But before that,
Saber.
I call out to her as she lays beside me. I want to ask her at the end. I want to hear again why I desire her so much.
感じますか、シロ。これなら朝までには魔力の補充ができる。これで明日からあなたのサーバントとして戦います。
Yeah, luckily no sex required this time.
セイバ
今はそれだけ
Or
です。
something like
シロ
sex.
私の役
No
割はあなたの
rituals, let's go with
身を
that.
守りきる。聖杯を手にすることだけです。戦いを終わらせるまでそれ以外のことなど考えられない。
ー。それは。
そうでしょう、シロ。
Nah, do what you gotta
こ
do.
の戦いを終わらせるために戦うと決めたのだから。
I can't argue that point. If we want to solve our problem, we first need to end this war. To start, I won't be able to protect Saber unless I defeat the man who's after her. But, is there really a way for us to defeat the King of Heroes? I mean, he was on the right track, whatever the fuck that was. While the two of us lie quiet, we look out into the tranquil darkness. I don't know how much time passes. My eyelids grow heavy. My body cries out for rest. But our entwined fingers stay warm.
セイバ
はい。考えるのは明日にしましょう、シロ。明日になれば良い案が浮かぶかもしれませんし。それに
She just wants to sleep together like this. She holds my hand gently as she says so.
ー。そうだな。俺も。そうし。
ええ。おやすみなさい、シロ。目を覚ましたらまたいつもの私たちに戻りましょう。
I lean my face close to hers and close my eyes. The last thing I see is Saber smiling warmly. I don't care if that moment of vulnerability was only for tonight. The hand holding mine right now is so warm. It's more than enough for me, and I fall into a satisfied sleep. The end of battle. Once everything is over, I'm not sure I can keep holding this hand. And then silence settles in. We will definitely save the game. Thanks for asking. All right, guys. I guess we're gonna call it with that one there. Another nice episode. That was a long fucking one. That was Valentine's Day, guys. Jeez. All right. Now it's the day after Valentine's Day. It's where, we can think back, and maybe look to the future. Or something like that. I don't know. Okay, but there we go. There we go, guys. So sorry for cutting it off when I did in the previous episode. I wasn't even really, losing time or because I had ran out of time or anything like that. I thought I was. I actually wasn't, so I didn't have to stop the episode there, but I kind of did. But yeah, whatever. Anyways, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was a fun one, and very excited to see how the remainder of this route goes. And I'm starting to wonder how the other routes will go. I'm starting to wonder if this is going to be kind of like a Chaos Head, Chaos Child thing, where you kind of go back through, you make very specific choices, and those choices will lead you into completely different routes, because I still have like a lot of questions. There's probably a whole lot more to explore with the other masters and servants. Probably a lot more to see out of Assassin, Caster, maybe even Rider with, stupid ass Shinji. There may be, something redeemable out of Shinji in another route. Who knows? So there's a whole lot more to see, I'm sure. We're far from over with this game, but it's wild that we are getting to the end of the story presented to us here, at least. Anyways, thank you all for tuning in. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy.